Hey guys, it's DukeConRed1 and welcome to another Minecraft video. This is the long-awaited Kevicston walkthrough video. So many of you guys have asked me to make a video on this because, you know, I made a time-lapse on it, and that is in the description below if some of you want to watch the time-lapse. But I never made a walkthrough video showing all of the details and surroundings of Kevicston. But that is what we're going to be doing today, and I'm really looking forward to this, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. If you want to come here, all you gotta do is do /warp Kevicston. That's right there on the raven.org server, or you can download download the Kevicston map from my Planet Minecraft. Link is below in the description. You can download that and check it out. For those of you that don't use Conquest, you can just download our launcher, raven.org/launcher, and that will download all the mods and everything for you, so you can actually see this build for yourself. With all of the textures and everything, so everything is not glitching out and everything. So, but yeah, this is the Riverbend Bed and Breakfast Inn. By the way, this is only part 1, so we're only going to be able to go through half of the build because there is so much to see. There's no way we're going to be able to see it all in one video. But yeah, this is the Riverbend Bed and Breakfast. This is where people would come along this road here. This is actually a major trade route. This is the Caldavian trade route. It goes between the southern lands and the northern regions of the imperial continent of Abathon. Abathon is basically consists of a whole bunch of provinces, like kingdoms pretty much, where they have, you know, the feudal system. There's lots of forts, castles, keeps, towns, villages, cities, and stuff all on each province. You know, some varying in sizes and, you know, all that good stuff. But the idea is that the Caldavian trade route goes between one of several that is basically a long road between the two. That takes goods from deep in the southern regions to high up in the north, and so that they can get the resources from the north, like metals. The crafts, like the carpenters, are far better in the north. Maybe they make better furniture and stuff. There's just so many reasons why you would need to trade between the two regions. But anyways, this southern region that we're on right now has always been at odds with the northern province. So it's just these two provinces that have been at odds for a long time, more or less at war. There's like a great lord or king of this side, and then there's a great king of the northern region. But that's not indicated in this build. This is just a knight, a trusted friend or a trusted comrade to the king of the north, who holds that region, which is the Kevicston Keep up there. We aren't going to be able to render that in from up down here, but oh well. But it's so hard trying to go between the lore and then what we're seeing as we're walking through, but there's so much to see. And so as we go through, I'll tell you a little bit about the lore, and hopefully you'll be able to catch you guys up. So here we have a little cart that would be able to carry this wood, because right down here is a lumber mill. And this here is where they're felling a forest or felling all these trees down, because obviously they would need lots of boards and such in order to build all these houses and such like that. But yeah, there's lots of fallen down trees, and as you can see, there's lots of stumps and things like that around. This here is a stream, and this is what actually powers the wheel in order to power the saw at this lumber mill. This was the natural stream here. This is where the stream originally went down into the river, or the creek down below, but then they dammed it up here. They basically just put a whole bunch of dirt there, and then they diverted the stream to go this way so that it would power the water wheel. So maybe if there's an overflow, they could just knock this out and it would go down the original stream path. So here we have the actual lumber mill. This is where they would produce the lumber in order to build all of these houses and such all the way around. Lots of little things. We got like a shed down here, some horses down here. Obviously they would need some horses to pull the carts and wagons and things in order to pull everything around. Got a wagon down there, some boards stocked up, and that's where the leader, or the I guess the master of this whole lumber mill kind of takes place up here. But yeah, this here is the water wheel. This is where the overflow would be taken. Say if they want to do maintenance on the water wheel, they would just close this levee, they would open this, and then the water would come out through there, and then they could do maintenance on the water wheel, clean it off, or do whatever they would need to do to turn off the saw, so that they could do maintenance on the system, the mechanism, and such. So that's pretty important. But yeah, this here is the lumber mill, kind of themed off of what you guys know as the lumber mills from Skyrim. You guys know that. That's what I kind of themed it off of. But this I themed it off of. I don't even know where I got inspiration for this, but I really liked the design of this. I really liked how that turned out, especially with the levees and such. That was a fun little thing to add in. So what happens is Kevicston is, in the middle of a war, or not, and there's no war going on right now, but there was a massive war that took place not, many years ago, and that's the reason why this keep was built, in order to set a watchful eye over these lands. And so the Kevicston keep is sort of centered around a giant bell tower. And the bell tower would resound across all of this valley and everything, and people would hear it. And there's mountains behind Kevicston, so maybe there's a signal fire back there. I didn't build the signal fire, but basically that would warn the northern, cities and people that there's an attack coming. So this keep that we're going to see up here is here to protect this region. Because this is the Chaldavian trade route, so this is a very lucrative trade route. This is where a lot of merchants and such come through in order to buy and sell goods, between the northern and southern regions and such like that. But this creek here is more or less the dividing point between the two sides, and this should be a much larger river. But maybe if this ever were to become an actual large project, this river would actually be massive, probably 3 or 4 times the size, and this bridge would be much bigger, but I had to kind of scale it down because of how everything was. But anyways, yeah, the road should be bigger, the river should be bigger, etc. But anyway, this is the dividing point between the two, and the northern region still sort of leaks down into the south. But it's all part of the empire. Abathon is the empire, and it's all provinces and kingdoms and such like that, and they all work together. So say if the empire needs to stage an invasion, which it is currently doing. The empire is in mid-invasion of the southern continent of Arnon, which is the home to the creatures of, the mythical creatures and such, which basically have gone extinct in this region or in this continent, because the empire is more or less xenophobic. The majority of them are, at least. There are certain people of the empire that are against the invasion of Arnon, but that is that. So here lies Amnuk Ironside, rest in peace, fearless leader and trusted comrade of the High King, laid to rest with his men who died in battle. But yeah, so many of you guys have asked, why don't we make this, map? Why don't we do this lore that I've been talking about? And the reason why we haven't done it yet is because we don't have the resources. We don't have the ability to, and plus I haven't really developed it. If there is a serious, if people are serious about actually doing it, and we actually, had the resources, the money, the manpower in order to make it happen, I would put a serious effort into producing it, making the lore and everything. But besides that, I know you guys would be asking, why can't we do it? But, we just don't have it right now. We just can't do it. I would love to do something like Westeros Craft at some point. So this here is the tomb to the fallen soldiers, all the soldiers that died in the Great War between the North and the South that, a while back. Thousands of men had died. There's lots of ruins around the build that we will see later on. As you can see, there's lots of tombs, little crypts and such for all the soldiers. And then we have this end tomb over here. And then that's just supposed to be a facade. The actual tombs are down here, and down here in the depths, as you can see, lots of crypts, lots of things to see. You can go down left here, but we're not going to go that way. There's just like, more crypts down that way. You guys can actually check this out for yourself. Again, just do /warp Kevicston on the server or download for yourself, and you can check this build out. But we're going to go along here and just continue sort of exploring around. We don't want to spend too much time. Like I said, just this video, exploring half of Kevicston is going to take a long time. So you guys are going to have to bear with me, and hopefully you will enjoy it, because there's so much to see, so many details. And again, that is the point of why I built this, is I just really wanted to make it just immersive and just, so many things to see. But yeah, this is where the tomb to the Amnuk was, the fearless lord of, the fearless leader of the armies of the northern regions when they had their attack down into, when they were attacked by the south, they had to amass an army. And so Amnuk had was a very trusted friend to the king, and he died on the field of battle, and he was given a special tomb as a reward for his efforts. And so that is that. And then, just like the typical Skyrim kind of theme, there's a treasure room at the end, and it overlooks that room that we had seen earlier with the table, just sort of like a artsy kind of council hall, or not a council hall, just like maybe a dining room table, sort of like comforts for the dead, stuff like that. I really thought was a good idea. And then it actually leads out right here, where you can like go up through this water, and there's like a little camp in this cave, and then it leads right back out right here. And as you can see, it leads right back to the entrance. So that's something I really liked, a little circle kind of thing. Again, another Skyrim reference. I took a lot of reference from Skyrim when I built Kevicston. There's a lot of stuff like that in this build that I really liked the ideas of. So now we're gonna go check over here at this little fishing hut. And there's a little fishing hut down here where they would do some stuff. Here's a canoe that's underneath a little shack. We got some fish drying over here. So he would make his main income from selling fish. A little dock down here where he could, throw his line off and, catch fish as people are going by on carts and their wagons and such. So that's a really cool thing, I think. So pretty cool. We're going to actually head back to the road and keep running around and trying to find stuff. So we'll see as we go along the Chaldavian trade route, which we're on right now, the Chaldavian road. This leads all the way up to, maybe there's a city at the end of this, like a great big city of the northern reach of Abathon. And that's where this trade route would go. Many carts and wagons and stuff like that, they would have to go in between. And so there's like lots of little trading caravans and things like that all along. So what we're going to do is actually go this way and check out a farmstead, which is over here. And that is going to be the farthest that we're going to go over this side, because again, there's a ton of things to see in just this first part of the this two-part series of Kevicston that we're going to be doing. Because there's like I said, there's details everywhere, all kinds of things to see, and inspiration hopefully to take in. That was why I built this. That is why I wanted to build this. And again, you guys can watch the time lapse of the keep if you want to. So here we will find the ruins of an old village that had been here. This was the brunt of the attack. What happened was the southern regions basically all filled up that hill. Maybe they sent boats across the river here, and then they attacked. They attacked across the bridge down there and stuff like that. We got a little tree over here, a little weirwood tree. Game of Thrones reference. Here lies Ned Stark, Warden of the North. Just kind of a silly thing like that. But yeah, these are the ruins of a village here that are remnants of the war, and that I thought was a pretty interesting idea. Lots of places where the runoff can go. Like here we have like a little spring where water would spring up from underground, and then there has to be a way for the water to get out. So here we have like a little bridge that goes over it, and then the water would drain down into the river down there. So a little bridge that goes over here. They would cut some firewood there, and this is has a potato farm, a rather useless scarecrow. I thought that was a funny thing to do. And then we have some clothes being dried, stuff like that. There's really not, not too much. Chicken coop, just some stuff, just a farmstead that I thought would be a pretty cool idea to add in. There's several of these across this this build that I put in. But there's no villages or anything. I guess there is a village, but that's more up towards the actual keep that's up above. But we aren't going to get to that in this video. This video is just the one part of the surrounding videos. And then in part 2, we are going to get to the keep and see all of that stuff. Again, there we go. Got a nice little view of the keep up there. The top hasn't rendered, so you can't see the top of that yet. Oh well, I guess we can't get everything. But up here is actually a bear cave that I wanted to show you guys. Another little detail that you guys can add in, obviously, is a little bear cave where a bear could come in and sleep and nap, and then he would go out and hunt. Maybe it was becoming a nuisance. Maybe it killed a hunter down there, or maybe that fisherman down there. But anyway, the hunter has, there's a hunter's camp up there, and they killed the bear, and you'll follow this blood trail, and it will lead us all the way over here to this hunter's camp. And then this is where the bear would be right here. Maybe there's a couple deer hides, and this is where the hunter would sleep. And he's cutting up the meat and everything to be sold to whoever wants the bear meat. And as far as I understand, bear meat actually isn't all that good, but I don't know. You guys tell me, is bear meat any good? But anyways, that's the bear skin right there. And this is actually a really cool thing I wanted to make out to you guys. If you see blood trails anywhere in Kevicston, that means there is something on the other end. So go make sure you check those out and see what is on the other ends of those blood trails, because they always mean something. Typically they mean something. There's always blood trails. So if you see any redstone, that really kind of means there's something on the other side. So we're going to be coming up now on our first trade caravan right up here. This is one of our first trade caravans. This is, they're selling some, exotic goods. Maybe they're coming from the north or something, who knows. And they have like a little place up here where they can sit around a fire and eat. A little place where they can sleep in there. They got a couple carts, and then this is where they would tie up their horses over here. That would pull their carts down the path. Now this road should be much, much bigger. Like I had to scale it down. I didn't have to, but I did. I scaled it down to sort of fit the region a little more. But yeah, say if this was on a massive custom world, then this road would probably be 3 times the width of that it is, and probably be much better, like made out of stone, more like a Roman road. Yeah, I'm sure you guys know what those are. More of a Roman themed kind of road. Again, this is another thing about runoff. Here's like a little piece of wood up here, and this actually goes all the way up to the fort of Kevicston. It actually shows, I actually kind of show where the runoff kind of comes from, all the mountains and stuff up there. It comes all the way down through here, and then it goes all the way down to the river. Another detail that I really want to point out to you guys is the runoff. Try to keep that in mind. You don't need to, but it's a really neat thing that you guys can think about and add into your builds. So here we have our manor house. I really thought that this was a neat thing to add in. Has a great view over the valley. You can kind of see the end down there a little bit, and stuff like that. Really thought, that's a nice view. I like that. Then you can see the crypt over there. I would not want to live here because it'd be kind of scary. They would always tell their kids, don't go down to the crypt, because if you go down to the crypt, you might get swallowed by a ghost or something, or haunted by a ghost, or maybe this place is haunted by a ghost, who knows. Here's a little place where they can cut firewood, chicken coop, and a pigsty over here. So some pig farmers, I guess this place is the pig farmer. They got a little garage over here where they can do store some potatoes and stuff like that, because they have a little potato farm down there. And then here is a place for maybe some cows. I didn't put any details in here. Should have put some hay or something to indicate there were some cows in there or something. But yeah, this here is a manor house, and I really like this little back porch back here. I like how this house looks. I think it really worked out. And I love this style. I love this region. It's so nice. I mean, originally all of the clay was normal stone. All of the clay that you see was normal stone. And it just didn't fit. Like, with the bricks that I have and everything, it just really looked weird. And so I just did a command replace near, and I did like a region of like 500 blocks, and I changed it all to clay, and it just worked. I think Monsterfish suggested me to do that, and it just works so well. I'm so glad that he suggested that. But anyways, it's like a very clay region. So yeah. But here, maybe there's a family. Maybe they're tired of the northern cold and they want to go south. And so maybe they are just stopping here at Kevicston for protection. Because typically this, if you're in a region that's being protected, maybe there's frequent patrols down these roads, and so they thought that this was a safe place to be, and so they decided to stop here for a nap while they are on their journey south, so that they can go to maybe the southern cities or something. So again, there's more like travel caravans like that around, and we are actually heading up to the pinnacle of the trade caravans, actually the pinnacle of Kevicston of the map. It's a high point up there, which we're going to get to. Here's another little farmstead. Again, they're growing potatoes, and this potato field should be massive, but again, we got to kind of scale it down because of restrictions and such like that, but it is what it is. There's all kinds of details in this forest. We might see a few as we go along, but here we have an overturned cart. Again, another detail you guys can add in is indications of maybe bandits, because this leads up to a bandit cave right up here in the mountain. So again, we have another blood trail, and all you gotta do is follow that blood trail, and it heads right up here to the mountain. I know exactly where it is, but all you gotta do is follow that blood trail, and it leads here to a bandit camp where there's some bandits. You guys can explore in here if you want. We got the bandit leader that lives down there, the place where the bandits themselves sleep, and then a little prison down here where they would put their prisoners. And then, of course, a little community area where they would eat, and then they put a little hole in so that the smoke from their fire could get out. So there is that little bandit camp, underground bandit camp, that I thought was a neat thing to add in. So pretty cool. And we're going to head this way now, and we're going to keep heading up this road, again, the Chaldavian trade route, and then we're going to head up to here. So also in this storyline, between Abathon is the Imperial continent, and Arnon is the continent of like the mythical creatures. So the Imperials are in mid-invasion of Arnon, and so they are more of like a xenophobic kind of, humans typically want to have dominance, and maybe they were instigated somehow. Like, I don't want it, like, the Empire just to seem evil. I want, like, I might add in some kind of, like, trigger to what caused the Empire to want to attack. So maybe the creatures attacked first, My original storyline is that the creatures were, like, Hurons, Titrans, my own sort of creations, but I might make it into more like dwarves, elves, creatures that we all know, orcs, stuff like that, but we'll see. I'm not quite sure. Maybe at some point, like if this ever becomes an actual thing, if this storyline actually happens, and we ever get the resources and the manpower and everything to make it happen, that would be awesome. But yeah, like I said before, I would take it seriously if I actually saw a future in it. And then I would develop the lore. I would ask people to do little things here and there. Like, someone actually today was actually helping with the gods, like the deities and such like that. Maybe the mythology, the mythology behind the gods. But yeah, Seabridge is also in this world. It is the middle point between the two continents. While the Empire is in its invasion, they settled on that island. They said, this would be a great place to make like a midpoint between our two continents so that trading and supplying our armies and our war effort is easier. So that is what Seabridge is there for. But anyway, that's a different story. You guys can check Seabridge out over on my Let's Build a Town, or Let's Build a City. Yeah, so that is that. So now we're going to keep walking through a little bit more of this. Again, Kevicston is ruled by a knight. Again, a trusted friend to the king of this northern province. I have not come up with a name for the king or this northern province or anything. That's all kind of up in the air. Again, some more ruins to sort of indicate a battle that had taken place here. And then there's more ruins up here somewhere. There we go. There's a tower right there. You can kind of see it in the distance. More ruins. There's ruins a little bit everywhere. There's dead bodies in here. There's a beehive right there that has a light. That's actually not supposed to be like that. That is supposed to be that. That right there. Sorry about that, guys. There's supposed to be bees flying around. But oh well, stuff like that happens. Biomes, when Monsterfish updates biomes and adds in new textures, things like that get messed up. So you might find stuff like that around. So here's like a little shrine to one of the gods of the Empire. Maybe this is Odona, the Shadow. If you go to Seabridge into the temple, there's a list of all the gods there, and you can check them out. It's more or less listed off of like the Game of Thrones kind of structure of the gods, like the Shadow, the Merchant, the Beauty, the Mountain, stuff like that. Neat little things. So here is a dead body being buried up here. A little neat detail you can add into your builds. A couple little berry trees over here. You know, I should have put more berry trees around the build, but oh well. I did what I did, and that's okay. So here we have a little camp. Maybe someone that was on an adventure. Maybe they were coming down the mountain or something. They kind of want to stay away from civilization. So he decided to camp here. But little did he know that he was underneath a monster's nest. And so we're going to head up this way. Follow the blood trail. Again, follow the blood trail is, you know, it's a neat little thing you can add into your builds in order to add in some immersion. And it heads up here to a monster's nest. Maybe it's a griffin or some kind of monster like that. Some kind of bird creature. And then here we have, again, another ruin. So maybe this was a watchtower that was built up here. Maybe it was like a tall watchtower. All the ruins, like all the blocks or bricks and stuff have been probably molded into the ground, but all that's left is the walls to the tower now. So that is that. And we got some mountains up behind it, so maybe there's some I should have put maybe some beacon fires up there or something. And then down here is the quarry, where they would gather all of the clay for the bricks and, you know, the stone for their buildings and such. Got a little dead body over here. Maybe someone wasn't making someone very happy, and then someone of those someones decided to kill the someone. How's that for proper English? But anyways, yes, this is a quarry here, and this is where they would gather all their clay and such. So I think that is everything for this side. We're going to be seeing the actual keep in our next video, so you guys stay tuned for that. I'm actually going to show you through the... yeah, I think that's everything. Alright, so I'm going to show you through the mine really quick, and then that will end off our video. And if I think of anything more about the lore and everything, I'll probably say that in the next video. But if you guys have any suggestions for, you know, the lore or something like that, you know, tell me in the comments below, because I want to try to keep things pretty, you know, back and forth. I want you guys to feel like you're a part of it, and since I'm in, you know, mid-development of it, nothing's really concrete. There's only a few concrete things, you know, Abathon, Arnon, the Empire, the creatures, Seabridge, stuff like that. And then there's Crime that's going to be somewhere in there. Big cities, who knows? There's going to be a lot of stuff, but yeah, there is that. So anyways, Kevicston is all part of the lore, and this is actually one of my favorite builds that I've ever done, is Kevicston. And I will have to do a walkthrough video sometime on Velos Thera. It's a Roman-themed fort, but that's more of the southern region, and I'll be able to tell you guys the lore about that, and I would really like to tell you lore about that. But anyway, this comes up to a sinkhole, so the mine actually caves in right here, and as you can see, it kind of continues. But anyways, what happened was the forest above collapsed in, and then this became a sort of collapsed tunnel there. And oh well, you know, there's not much you can do once a cave in happens. So we're gonna head back into here. But yes, that is part 1 of our Kevicston video. Part 2 will be coming soon, hopefully, and hopefully we'll be able to get a lot more, show you guys a lot more, because there's so much more to see, so much, and I'll try to tell you some more about the lore. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, I have a Facebook and Twitter you guys can follow me on in order to stay connected, because there is a lot of things to see. I always try to keep you guys updated and you know, in the loop. So again, thank you for all that you guys do. Thank you so much for, you know, thank you to each one of you. You guys make this possible. You know, you guys watching me is the whole reason why, you know, this whole YouTube thing works, is because you know, it's sort of an entertainment industry, and that's kind of what I want to do, is entertain you guys with whatever I can, and my specialty is building. So anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Till then, bye-bye.